The emergency room was quiet for once. No screaming, no sirens, just the hum of fluorescent lights and the rhythmic beeping of monitors. Carol Winters, 48, had worked night shifts at Memorial General Hospital for over 15 years. She knew the ER like her own living room. She knew the staff, the smells, even which vending machine buttons were broken. She also knew when something was wrong, even before it happened. It was 2:19 a.m. when she felt it. A heaviness, a pull toward the front doors. She looked up from her chart. Something outside the glass caught her eye. A man, maybe mid-60s, wrapped in a filthy coat, staggered across the ambulance lane, then collapsed. Carol didn't think. She moved, past the triage desk, through the sliding doors, onto the pavement. The security guard shouted after her, "Winters, you can't go out there. It's a code violation." She didn't stop. The man was barely breathing. His skin was gray, his lips blue. She checked his pulse. Faint. "Sir, can you hear me?" Nothing. She dropped to her knees, cleared his airway, started compressions. Inside, through the glass, hospital admin staff watched. One of them picked up the phone. Another scribbled something on a clipboard. An ambulance tech rushed out to help. They got the man inside. Intubated. Stabilized. He lived. Barely. Carol stood beside the gurney as they wheeled him in. His eyes fluttered open. Just once. Long enough to meet hers. Grateful. Confused. Human. An hour later, her supervisor called her into the office. "You left the ER floor unattended. You violated protocol. You exposed yourself to risk." Carol frowned. "I saved a man's life. And we're not saying that isn't commendable. But policy is policy. You're not authorized to render aid outside the building." She was suspended. Pending investigation. No pay, no review. Carol walked out of the hospital at 4:47 a.m. Her name badge still clipped to her scrubs. Eyes red, hands shaking. She didn't cry until she got home. She lived alone. No kids. Her apartment smelled like lavender and old coffee. She poured herself tea and stared at the badge on her counter. "Fired for saving someone," she whispered. What a world. The next morning, her phone didn't ring. No apology, no support, just silence. Meanwhile, in the cardiac wing of Memorial General, the man she had saved woke up fully. No name, no ID. He gave the staff a fake one. James Carter. No family, no insurance. He was logged as transient, male, unknown background. No one thought twice. But James Carter was not who he seemed. And Carol Winters was about to learn that the man she saved had the power to rewrite everything. Because 1 week later, at exactly 10:00 a.m., a black stretch limousine pulled into the staff parking lot of Memorial General Hospital. Out stepped a man in a crisp navy suit, clean-shaven, confident, and in his eyes, a memory. He walked to the main lobby, straightened his cuffs, and said to the receptionist, "I'm here to speak to the board of directors. Tell them the majority shareholder has arrived." The boardroom of Memorial General Hospital had never been this quiet. 12 people, suits, ties, tablets open, cups of coffee trembling slightly. At the head of the table sat a man with calm eyes and a name none of them recognized. At first. "My name is Nathaniel Pierce. Until last year, I ran Pierce Holdings, the healthcare investment group that underwrites over 60% of your funding." They blinked, and after your latest quarterly acquisition offer, I now personally own 51% of Memorial General. Silence, then nervous shifting. A throat cleared. The chairman, Mr. Ellison, tried to regain control. "We weren't expecting you, Mr. Pierce, and your arrival is very sudden." Nathaniel smiled politely. "You might remember me by a different name. I was admitted to your ER last week as James Carter." Gasps, papers rustled. "Yes, that James Carter, the man you flagged as a transient. No insurance, no identity. But before that label, I was a human being, a cardiac arrest patient, and someone saved my life." He paused. "Her name was Carol Winters." Now they really shifted. Mr. Ellison stammered. "Mr. Pierce, that incident was under internal review. She violated safety protocol. She saved my life." His voice was flat now. "And you fired her." He opened a folder, laid out photos, reports, footage. I watched the surveillance video. She saw a man collapse. She ran. No hesitation. While your staff stood behind glass holding clipboards. He stood. So here's what's going to happen. He turned to the HR director. You will reinstate Carol Winters with full back pay, benefits, and a formal public apology. He turned to the admin VP. Your employment is terminated effective immediately. Negligence in handling personnel decisions. And ethical misconduct in suppressing aid. He looked to Mr. Ellison. As for you, your resignation is expected by the end of today. No one argued. No one dared. 3 days later, Carol Winters stood at a podium outside the hospital. Microphones everywhere. News vans, reporters, curious staff. Behind her, a brand new sign was being unveiled. The Carol Winters Community Care Wing. Free walk-in clinic for uninsured and homeless patients. Carol wiped a tear. She didn't speak long, just enough to say, I didn't save him for applause. I did it because someone needed help. And that's what nurses do, even when no one's watching. Nathaniel stood behind her, hands folded. Later that night, they had coffee together on a bench outside the new clinic. She looked at him. You could have walked away, never said a word. He smiled. I could have, but I know what it's like to be invisible, and I know what it means when someone chooses to see you anyway. The hospital changed, not overnight, but deeply. Protocols were rewritten, training was restructured, and above every entrance in the ER hung a new plaque. Compassion before policy, humanity before hierarchy. Carol kept working. She didn't want promotion. She didn't want power. She just wanted her scrubs. And the chance to do the right thing, again and again. And every time someone walked into that clinic, nervous, poor, alone, they saw her name and remembered. The system might break you, but kindness rebuilds everything. Thank you for watching. If you want to get more of that kind of stories, press like and check out our channel.